Good day, everyone. Greg Satilla here from CRPG Legends, or you might know me as Gore from the guild Cute Shoes on WoW Classic Mankrik server. I am here today to talk about the sudden popularity of GDKP runs and the effect they're having on the current economy, and also what to expect in the Burning Crusade if things continue the way they currently are. I have previously talked about the boosting meta and the inflation of consumables for Naxx and their effects on the economy and how it all ties together with gold buying and selling, and this video is the last big piece of what is going on in WoW Classic in terms of how people are earning and spending their gold. Now, what exactly is GDKP? For those that don't know, GDKP is where a raid is run a lot like an auction. You kill the bosses, and then the loot is bid on for gold, with the highest bidder winning the item. The gold that was spent on items throughout the raid is then distributed among all raiders, sometimes with bonuses to the tanks and top DPS and healers for the run. Now, GDKP has been around for a while, but with a lot of guilds now focusing their raid nights solely on Naxx, that has left a lot of players with open raid IDs for AQ40 and Blackwing Lair, and they're using those IDs by hosting GDKP raids, trying to attract the biggest spenders to their raids in order to get the most amount of gold for their guildmates or the rest of the carriers. In return, these big spenders would like the raids to go as smooth as possible and would prefer if players that were hosting were trying their hardest to perform at their best. It has become a good way for raiders to make some money for their raids, and if you have excess gold, it allows you to ensure you get the items you want when they drop for your main or your alt. A great GDKP could net the raid over 1,000 gold a player, and it honestly isn't too bad of a system if you have gear and need money, or if you have money and need gear. If you don't have any gold and you don't have any gear, you probably don't enjoy the concept of GDKP, especially as pug raids that are run on a soft reserve system are probably seeing the opportunities diminish as the best geared players are slowly becoming mercenaries. So much like in real life, if you don't have the gold or the gear, you gotta get a job and get yourself in a raiding guild and earn some of that gear with a good group of people if you're lucky, and a shit group of people if you're unlucky. The big downside to this GDKP raid system is that it encourages whales, or people who spend a lot of real life money to buy more gold and face off against other whales to get in bidding wars, and then after they have to go and buy more gold. Especially when gold sellers are starting to host these GDKP runs themselves, so large portions of the gold they sell just gets funneled back into their pockets. We have an environment now which is similar to boosting, where the concept isn't necessarily a bad one, but people will still try to take advantage of it by bypassing the usual grind of getting gold and decide to go the route of buying gold. And unlike boosting, the gold amount you need to get geared via GDKP is generally much higher. As boosting might cost several thousand gold, one rare item in a GDKP might shoot up to over 10,000 gold, or in some cases over 100,000 gold. You will see items being bid up with such frequency it becomes apparent that all this gold throughout all these GDKPs can in no way be legitimate. So you are caught in that situation again where to earn gold on the scale needed in the time available, you end up complicit in this system that encourages gold buying, and most of us eat it up. People constantly talk up subpar items in a GDKP run, or bring up the fringe specs that an item benefits in order to encourage people to keep bidding just to earn a handful more gold out of the run, when they know that there is a good chance that the money they are earning is bought from some website and being laundered through GDKP. Now, it sounds more exciting to say the money is being laundered, even though we don't really see Blizzard actually removing bought gold from the economy or doling out any punishments to those who buy gold. Because of the sheer amount of gold that is redistributed during GDKP, it is very hard for legitimate players to avoid. For raiders, it takes the part of the game we enjoy the most and makes it profitable, Why wouldn't players want to do the things they enjoy the most and make some money off of it? Right now, for a lot of Naxx raiders, GDKP is the best way to earn money for raid mats, but it is also the best opportunity for gold buyers to get gear. It is a perfect storm, and I think we will only see things getting worse as we see a good amount of players with gold amounts closer to what they had at the end of Wrath of the Lich King than what players had at the end of Vanilla. A lot of players have more than enough gold to pay for their epic flying mounts in TBC already, and I remember that was a big struggle for me to attain back in vanilla TBC. It was also at the time a great way to siphon gold out of the economy, but now I don't know if that 5,000 gold mount is going to make much of a difference at all. Now, GDKP generally relies on having people who already have their gear from the raid carrying the buyers through as much as possible, so chances are it will take a couple of weeks to get the GDKP machine going in the Burning Crusade. But from that point on, I think it will once again be the most efficient way to get gold in the game, and I think it will continue doing untold damage to the economy, especially for the non-hardcore, non-gold buying player. With the reduction in the amount of consumables players need to raid efficiently in TBC, we may see the commodities market start to dry up in comparison to Vanilla Classic. This of course will depend on a multitude of things, as we also have jewel crafting, new reputation items, and flying mounts entering the picture, and whether this will be an advantage or disadvantage for gold selling bots, we will see. Now, that being said, I can only foresee an increase in the popularity of GDKP runs. I also foresee more GDKP runs being set up and run by the gold sellers themselves, as it is in their best interest to keep demand for gold high, and if they can recoup some of their gold back every run, why not just host them yourselves? But what does this mean for the average players? The effects of these runs cannot be self-contained within these GDKP groups. There is always massive spillover into the general economy, and just like in the real world, you will likely see the rich WoW players remain rich, and the poor WoW players most likely will remain in a struggle to carve a niche out for themselves in the market. Just remember that while the Burning Crusade might have a few of the same old problems, it also allows for new opportunities. Players might not need a ridiculous amount of consumables, but they will need rep items and gems, and new markets will open up. But will it be enough? Thanks everyone for watching. This is the part where I tell you to like and subscribe, maybe ring the bell, and do the whole YouTube rigmarole, but honestly, it's really important and I really do enjoy making these videos, so please like and subscribe. Check back later for more World of Warcraft and RPG content. Thanks so much!